people, welcome back to the channel. I've got the last round of the minis for you lot tonight. It is the finals. You'll have to let me know how my sound is. I am actually struggling to find the lobby tonight for some reason. Let's just have a quick look through. No, it's not showing up. What's going on here? Yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason it won't let me into this lobby. It won't let me find Chris Cutler. He's online. He's in a lobby. But for some reason, his lobby is not showing up for me. It's a little bit bizarre. So I think he's just trying to look at lobby settings, but for some reason, still nothing. Send him a little message. Keep checking back in. Oh, what have we got here down? No, Porsche Cups, race, no. No, nothing. Let's see if we can restart the old thing. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, for some reason, Chris, I can't find you. There you are. There you are. Look. Now playing. Chris Cutler, start. But for some reason, it won't show up in the lobby. Just tell him I'm having another quick restart. I think a few other people are struggling to find this lobby as well, so, or have had trouble to find this lobby. Show rooms, only rooms with friends. There it is. Amazing. Right. Let's calm everyone down. Phew. So sorry about the slight delay. Can't be helped. Oh, I'm going to have to adjust those sound levels, aren't I? So let me know how my sound is. Like I say, it was a little bit low the other night when I was doing the what was I doing? The BMWs. Let's just have a look who we've got in the room tonight. Cutler, Graham Reeves, Pilgrim Paddy, Mustang Jockey, Ollie O'Neill, Danzo, Mad Marshall, Bigsy, Thunderrat. I don't know you, Scar Wars and Sean F. I don't know if Thunderrat's a new driver just deciding to jump in for the last race of the season. So we're just going to jump into this 15 minutes quali. I'm not quite sure how they were going to set it up tonight. There was talk in the chat of splitting it back into 2 sprint races. I know it was meant to be an enduro, but there was chat of it splitting into the sprint races again. So 1 15-minute and 1 half an hour. We'll see. I suppose we'll see after the first 15 minutes of racing. So it's the standard format of qualifying tonight. So just the practice session. So if people do turn up late or have struggled to find a lobby like myself, they can still join and try and put a lap in close to the end of this one. So my mic does look like it's a little bit loud, but like I say, you lot will have to let me know. Wrong one. So Ollie O'Neill have got scores. I'm not sure if they're 100% correct because it does say after round 10, and this should be round 12. So let me just turn my headphones down so I'm not deafening myself. So this current standings, it does say after round 10 up the top there, and it does say Tsukuba circuit, which does make me think that we are a week out, which makes me kind of not want to show these scores really. But Cutler is leading. He's looking good to take the championship actually this season. 334 points, nobody's catching him now, even if we did have two races left, but we haven't. This is the finals. Like I say, still not sure whether it's a 1 hour enduro or 2 sprint races. So this is the bottom of the pro division, but these guys aren't racing in this anymore. I think Matt Tyler's had issues with steering wheel, and Freddie Hewitt's had issues with his internet connection. So we jump to the Pro-Ams. We have got the Pros and the Pro-Ams in the lobby tonight. Slightly different setups between the cars. I'll go into that in a minute. Whoever's listening, can you let me know whether my sound is all right or whether it's too loud, too quiet, etc, etc. Obviously right now it's not too bad, but what about now? Can you hear me now? That sort of thing. Just I've had issues with the sound settings on this Streamlabs. So Ollie O'Neill looking good to take the Pro-Am win, or championship win. I think he took it a couple of rounds ago actually. Graham Reed's going to come home second, and it's going to be a good fight between Graham Reed's and NGR Happy actually. Danzo stands a chance, snatching another place or two. Kapow's not that far back either. We just jump to the bottom. I think most of these guys are out of it as well. Oh, Mad Marshall's in the lobby tonight. I've seen him in the room. Mr. Dre's out. Revolver I've not seen. Was he in last week? Can't remember. Oh no, it was Conrad racing last week. And Jamie J I've not seen for a couple of weeks either. So not looking good for those guys. So, as I say, we're at the GP circuit. It is the long circuit tonight. Let's stick with Ollie O'Neill. Let's see what he does. He comes across the line. He puts in a 1:44.9. So not a bad time. NGR Cutler has gone quicker though. He's done a 1:38.3. So 15-minute quali. Like I say, still not sure whether we're enduro or sprint race tonight. I didn't keep up with the chat to see whether it was confirmed or not. Let's see if I can have a little bit of a scroll down. Might be a million miles away. Still people are talking about enduros, but rolling starts to try and stop chaos into turn 1. So Cutler on that, why was that turned off? Cutler on that 1:38.3. Bigsy then into second 1:39.0. Thunderat, like I say, new driver for me tonight. I don't know whether he's Pro-Am. As I say, the difference between the Pro and the Pro-Am drivers is the brake horsepower. The cars do weigh the same, but the Pro-Ams are running 150 brake, the Pros are running 220. So Thundercat in third, then with a 1:42.3. Danzo fourth, 1:43.5. Ollie O'Neill 1:44.9. Graham Reed's, he's on a 1:46.4. Pilgrim Paddy's a 1:47.4. Mad Marshall is a 1:50.7. Sean F is he's not put a hot lap in yet. 2:13.2 for his outlap. Scarwall's just sitting in the pits. So Cutler goes quicker then, 1:37.6. Because he's still holding on to that second position. These two are pro drivers. Mustang jockey, one of the Pro-Ams. He had a good week last week. Like I say, not too sure which category Thunder Rat's in. Looking at the time so far, I'd say Pro-Ams. So we may only have 2 pros in the lobby tonight. I can't remember if Pilgrim Paddy's pro or Pro-Am. Not seen Pilgrim Paddy for a couple of weeks, so I do forget. In fact, let's just have a look. I'm just going to chuck the scores up again, see where I can see Pilgrim anywhere on there. No. Is he in the bottom half? No, so he must be Pro-Am. Yeah, he's sitting in 6th currently, so running on the 150 brake setup for Pilgrim Paddy. Like I say, not sure what the new driver Thunder Rat's doing, whether he's Pro or Pro-Am. We'll see if his times get anywhere close to Chris Cutler or Biggsy's. Like I say, I think these are the only 2 pro drivers in tonight. Mustang jockey up into 3rd then, 141.8. Mad Marshall's up into 4th, 142.2. Should push Thunder Rat down from 3rd. So he's sitting on that 142.3 in 5th now. Ollie O'Neill 6th, 142.5. Alright, come on. I know I should know Brands Hatch like the back of my hand, but I just need a little reminder every now and then. Here we go, what we got? That's the one. So let's go for a little lap on board if we can find a driver. Here we go, let's go on board with Danzo. So he's just coming into the first turn, Graham Hill bend. And then down Hallwood Hill up towards Druids. Hard on the brakes for Druids into this hairpin. Powering out down Graham Hill. Sorry, that's Paddock Bend. This is Graham Hill bend, apologies. It's on the wrong side of the track. So down the Cooper Straight now for NGR Danzo as he heads down towards Surtees. Hard on the brakes for this, taking a nice wide line on the way in. All the power on the way out. So we're firing all the way down Pilgrim's Drop now towards Hawthorne Hill. So up the hill now towards Hawthorne Bend. Again, can be an awkward corner, should be okay in these minis. The GR3s explore track limits around here like you wouldn't believe. So through Westfield, then down the hill, headed towards Dingle Dell. So up the hill now, awkward little corner to get right, that one, easy to run wide on the exit. Try and carry a lot of speed through there, but like I say, easy to get wrong. Danzo trying to drift that mini through Sterling's, so he's heading down Clearways now towards Clark Curve. What's he going to chuck it into? 4th, just let it roll through in 4th, back on the power again, down the Brabham Straight. So he comes across the line, we'll stick with him, see what he puts in. 143.5, still in 6th for Danzo then currently. So NGR Cutler then, he's gone a little bit quicker again, 137.1. Biggsy 138.5, so he's also gone a bit quicker. Thunder Rat's back up into 3rd, 141.5. Mustang Jockey then 141.8. Mad Marshall's left and come back, but he is currently at 5th on the grid. Ollie O'Neill 6, 142.5. Graham Reed's going a little bit wide there. Sean F 142.6. No livery for Sean. Bad boy. NGR Danzo 143.2. Pilgrim Paddy's on a 143.7 in 9th. Graham Reed's at the back of the pack at the minute, 144.4. See what he's got. Comes across the line, 144.0. So he's back up into 10th as he chucks it off at Paddock Hill Bend. Scar Wars is in the room as well, so he's just coming out. Another driver for the lobby. So we'll come back to him, see what sort of lap times he's putting in. So if you are watching, just let me know what my sound's like versus these cars. Sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's ridiculously loud and you can't hear a damn thing. But the minis aren't actually that blaring, so hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. Not got my mic turned off or anything. No. Not left stupid flyers on the screen. Nope. Good. So let me just quickly come out of this and check what the race settings they've got set up at. So tyre wear times 10, fuel times 8. Like I say, not sure whether it's enduro or... Yeah, I'm not sure if it's enduro or sprint races tonight still. So Cutler leading, going quicker still. He's taken a second and a bit off, 135.9. So Cutler is looking pretty strong. He's 2.6 seconds than Biggsy's fastest time, a 138.5. Ollie O'Neill's chucked himself up into third then with the 139.5. That's good from the Pro-Am driver. Closest Pro-Am is a 141.3 from this man Mustang jockey. There's new guy Thunder out. He's still holding on to that 5th place, not ready to drop that yet to anyone. 141.0, just gone a little bit quicker on that last lap. Chucks him up into 4th, so he's gone ahead of Mustang jockey there. He's on a 141.3. So Mad Marshall 143.8. That's not his fastest. Pilgrim Paddy's just sitting this quali out in the pits. Graham Reed's up into 7th, then 144.0 for Graham. Scar Wars yet to put hot lap in. He's holding a little bit of a penalty. Still no hot lap from Scar Wars. Danzo in the pits, Thunder Rat now in the pits, and Sean F in the pits. So only in a minute and a half to get this qualifying done. And like I say, the race format's going to be as much of a surprise to you as it is to me. Don't need any of that, get rid of that. That's what I don't want. Why are we looking at a blank wall? I don't know. So Cutler's left the room. Or has he chucked himself in the pits? Yeah, he's in the pits. So Cutler's now setting up the grid order. As I say, it's only NGR, Cutler and Biggsy fighting out for the pros tonight. The other drivers decided to give it a miss. Possibly not within a shout of taking any wins. Oh, that pitman's going to get sacked. He's trying to put on a flat tyre there at the rear. That's no good. Yeah, only Cutler and Biggsy out for the Pro-Ams. Sorry, for the pros. Ollie O'Neill leading the Pro-Ams. It's going to be a punch-up of the Pro-Ams. There's quite a few of them. What have we got? 9 Pro-Ams battling it out on track versus these two pros. Marshall still trying to get those practice laps in. Pilgrim Paddy just finding a spot so he can get his picnic out. Graham Reed's still looking to put those hot ones in as well. Scar Wars running massively wide. A little bit of glitching from Scar Wars as well. Yeah, a couple more minutes, maybe a minute or so. The drift party's begun. Everyone trying to get the back end of that Mini stepped out. There you go, Mad Marshall deciding he's going to try and park up next to Pilgrim Paddy when he comes back round. 2 metres though, fellas, alright? COVID and all that. I want to see that on the racetrack as well. 2 metre gap. So it could be a little bit of a lonely race for the pro drivers if Bigsy or Cutler manage to break away from one or the other, get themselves off up the road. They'll just be racing against themselves and battling their way through the back markers, I think. But yeah, please tell me if my sound's coming across all right, whether you can hear me over the cars. Obviously not that one because it's not going very quick, or that one. Yeah, it's been chucking my sound levels all over the place for some reason. So just let me know whether you can hear me and the cars, etc. One of us is not being drowned out. Had that with the BMWs yesterday. And then it seemed alright for the GR3s, which was like 25 minutes later. You tell me. So yes, Cutler has set the grid order then, just waiting for everyone to get on track, and he'll press the go button. Like I say, I'm still in the dark whether it's an enduro or 2 sprint races. Give it 8 seconds, we'll find out. Maybe about 20 seconds once the race has actually started. So the finals then. Let's see. So they have left it as an endurance. So we've got 1 hour on the clock. Tyre and fuel strategy is going to come into play. More so for the Pro-Ams than it is the pros. As I say, only 2 pro drivers. Oh, Pro-Am, sorry, Scar Wars. Yeah, Scar Wars is pro as well. So a little bit more of a battle for the pros then. As the revs are up. I can't see the lights. Damn you, PlayStation. And they're away. It's not a great start from Cutler. Scar Wars is going to take that position. Bigsy's got past him as well. Thunder Rat didn't get a great start. So Bigsy's up into first, but Scar Wars has got the inside line through that turn as they head up towards Druids. Bigsy leads. Scar Wars second. Cutler in third. Ollie O'Neill pressuring NGR Cutler through Druids. Mustang Jockey in fifth. He's coming under a bit of pressure from Thunder Rat and Danzo behind. And we've got Graham Reed's Mad Marshall, Pilgrim Paddy and Sean F all battling it out for that 8th place. Graham Reed's leading that little fight at the minute. Mad Marshall losing out, ending up at the back of that little fight. So back up to the front, Bigsy still leading then. Scar Wars second, NGR Cutler not that far back. Ollie O'Neill being dropped now then. The Pro Boys power just coming into effect up the hill. Ollie O'Neill's had a good run through there. He caught back up with the Pro guys. Unless they've decided to give Ollie O'Neill a shot in the pros this week. He's doing a good job of keeping up with them at the minute. But Bigsy still leads, 1.7 seconds out front currently. So we've got Cutler, Scar Wars and Ollie O'Neill all fighting it out for that second position. could be 3 wide as they head into Clark Curve. They've all decided to go line astern. So Cutler into second, Scarwall's third, Ollie O'Neill fourth, Mustang Jockey fifth, Thunderrat sixth, Danzo seventh. They've got Graham Reed's in eighth, made a little bit of a break from Pilgrim Paddy. Sean F in 10th, not that far off Pilgrim either. Mad Marshall just running it on the sand in the background. He's kept it on track and in a straight line. Dizzy, I'll answer your message later, my friend. A little bit busy at the minute. So Bigsy, look at the gap Bigsy's made. 4 seconds over NGR Cutler. Scar Wars then into third, being overtaken by Cutler. 0.6 of a second back. So that battling between these three has just allowed Bigsy to escape down the road a little bit. Ollie O'Neill still not far off this fight. Like I say, still unsure whether Ollie O'Neill's in the pros or the Pro-Ams. He was Pro-Ams last week, but a lot of these Pro-Am drivers aren't doing too bad a job of keeping up the pro drivers in front. We've got Mustang Jockey fifth, Thunderrat running a little bit wide in some of those turns, but keeping it in sixth at the minute. Danzo just trying to drop his penalty. Oh, Thunderrat's got it wrong. He spun it round. He spun it round through Dingle Dell. He's got it back straight. He's in seventh. Pilgrim Paddy drifting that mini through, forget that corner. Sterling's. He's up into eighth. Sean F into ninth. Man Marshall in 10th. Graham Reed's now at the back of that pack. Stop it, Diz. Ruining my stream. So Bigsy then, 5.1 second lead. So he's on the racing mediums. Cutler also on the mediums. A lot less tyre wear on Cutler's mediums. Maybe just playing the long game. That's a great view, that is. Even Danzo's come through in 6th. Thunderrat in 7th. Just to keep that position. So Bigsy extending his lead, 5.7 seconds now. NGR Cutler second. He's managed to make a little bit of a gap over Scar Wars, 0.7 of a second, although Scar Wars is closing him back down now for that position. Keep it on track, Scar Wars. So Ollie O'Neill now out of that fight, 3.9 seconds back from the drivers in front. Just keep those 2 wheels off that grass, Ollie. So Mustang Jockey trying to close that gap down on Ollie in front. He is holding a little bit of a penalty, shouldn't be too hard to drop. Like I say, it is an enduro race. Oh, they've only run it for 50 minutes, not an hour. Okay. So 5th place for Mustang Jockey, although second in the Pro-Am division. Danzo sitting in 6th. Not doing too bad a job getting past Thunderrat after his mistake. Too bad a job. He qualified quite well. He didn't get a great start. Sean F in 8th and looking to close down on Thunderrat. He wants that position. Head up towards Druids. He's a little bit too far back to make a lunge, although I thought he was going to make a late dive then. That would have been a very late dive. Mad Marshall up into 9th then. He's also looking to close that gap down on Sean F in front. Just 1 second between those two. Then Graham Reed and Pilgrim Paddy battling it out for 10th and 11th. A little bit bumpy between those two, but I think keeping it respectful. This is where I see one of them T-bone the other one off, isn't it? Graham Reed's winning out in that fight at the minute. Pilgrim Paddy unfortunately just losing out. He will get a toe up the start of the back straight here. Possibly not enough to make a move before Hawthorne's at the top. So back up to the front then, Bigsy. He's now 6.7 seconds up the road on those racing mediums. He's got about 1/3 of a tank left. He's putting the pressure on those mediums. If we flick back to Cutler, also out on the mediums, holding a lot more fuel than Bigsy, so able to run longer and a lot less tyre wear on those racing mediums as well. If we jump back to Scarwalls, who's following Cutler round, he's in a very similar position. A lot more fuel, a lot better tyre wear. He's actually out on the softs, so doing really well actually, Scarwalls, on those softs. Not much more wear on those than there is on Cutler's mediums in front, whereas Bigsy's mediums, he's absolutely thrashed those to within an inch of their life. So we'll see how that strategy plays out for him. He is currently holding fastest lap of the race, but as I say, with less fuel and more tyre wear, he will have to pit earlier, which will give the guys behind a bit of a chance to jump him with their strategies. So Cutler and Scarwalls looking to run pretty long then on their stints. Ollie O'Neill still holding that 4th position, 8.8 back from the pro drivers in front now. Mustang Jockey still tucked in behind him. 0.7 of a second between these two. Like I say, these have had a good battle most of the season as well, Mustang Jockey and Ollie O'Neill. Danzo's coming under pressure for that 6th position from Sean F. So Sean F getting past. Oh, looks like Thunder Rat's had another off-track moment. He's lost another 2 positions to Mad Marshall and Danzo. So Danzo has just been overtaken by Sean F, up into 6th for Sean then. Danzo 7th. He's got Mad Marshall closing in on him as well. He's only 0.7 of a second back, all making it through Dingwood Dell cleanly. So Thunder at 7 then, like I say, not sure what happened to him. I think he must have just run himself wide in one of these turns. Down in 9th now. He's got to contend with Graham Reeds and Pilgrim Paddy slowly closing in on him as well. So Danzo's in the pits. His racing softs have taken a beating. Looks like he's taken on board a wedge load of fuel as well. So Bigsy's gap reduced down to 6 seconds now. Maybe that tyre wear just starting to come into effect on those mediums, allowing Cutler to close it in. So it looks like Scarwalls has had off-track action as well. He's now down in 5th. So the Pro-Am drivers of Ollie O'Neill and Mustang Jockey have managed to get through. Shouldn't take too long for Scarwalls to close that gap back up though. So now we're into the first of the pros pit strategies. Will we see Bigsy come in on this lap? Will he brave it for another? I don't think he's got enough to get round for another lap. So he is hugging the right hand side of the track. He does chuck himself in the pits then. So we'll see Cutler come through. He's still holding over 1/4 of a tank for NGR Cutler. Be able to get a lot of laps out on that. So Scarwalls then, after that mistake, down in 5th, looking to chase down the Pro-Am drivers of Ollie O'Neill and Mustang Jockey, 2.5 seconds back currently. And he's also in a reasonably good position, 1/4 of a tank of fuel. And his racing softs are a little bit beaten up. And he does get out, he does get into that 4th position, stays ahead of Bigsy as he comes out the pits. Full tank of fuel, fresh set of racing mediums for Bigsy. So he's now 2.8 seconds back from Scarwalls. Scarwalls' car will still be driving pretty light. He's not holding a lot of fuel. Bigsy comes through. Still 2.8 seconds the gap. NGR Cutler now 16 seconds over closest rival Ollie O'Neill. So different strategies between these drivers. So Scarwalls has caught up to these Pro-Ams, looking to make his way past as soon as possible. He gets past these two before Hawthorns. Nice and cleanly for Scarwalls. So now he's back on the hunt for NGR Cutler, 17.5 seconds down the road. A lot of work to do for Scarwalls, plenty of time to do it, 38 minutes on the clock still. Cutler and Bigsy still yet to pit. Ollie O'Neill and Mustang Jockey doing a good job of sticking in the toe of Scar Wars to try and keep their speed up. Bigsy's closed in on these two as well, so he's looking to clamber back through these and get back into the fight with Scar Wars. He will get that position back. When Scar Wars comes in the pits, he's sticking out for another lap now though. So we should see Bigsy get past these two Pro-Am drivers. So he's past one. Does he get past both cleanly? Yes, he does. So it can be a naughty corner, Paddock Hill bend. So Bigsy then now 0.8 of a second back from Scar Wars in front. But like I say, Scar Wars yet to pit, as is Cutler. So we'll see where that puts Bigsy when when these other drivers come in. Ollie O'Neill still leading the Pro-Ams. Still got Mustang Jockey 0.5 of a second behind him. Sean F now 9.3 seconds back. He's almost out of fuel, so he'll be in the pits probably the end of this lap. A Thunder Rat still holding on to that 7th. Again, yet to pit. Mad Marshall, 8th position. So Graham Reed's into 9th. Danzo has pit. He came in quite early, so he's out on a couple of laps old set of racing mediums. Just under 3/4 of a tank. He's a little bit far back from anyone at the minute, but we'll see how that plays out when they come in the pits. Pilgrim Paddy's also pit as well, so fresh set of racing softs for Pilgrim and full tank of fuel. So Cutler comes in now. Bigsy and Scar Wars are side by side. Bigsy's already past Scar Wars then. Looks like Scar Wars is going to come in the pits anyway. Oh, there's a little bit of drama between those two. Scar Wars running it a bit wide through Clark Curve and then chucking himself in the pits, getting right in NGR Bigsy's way. So just compromising Bigsy's exit speed, cutting his nose off as he was chucking himself in the pits. So now he's got 5 seconds over Cutler, who's back out of the pits. What's he on? Fresh set of racing mediums. He's gone for the full tank. So he's gained a second through that pit stop stint. Scar Wars back out now as well, racing mediums. He's now got an 18.7 second deficit to try and catch up with Cutler though. So Man Marshall in 4th. Oh yeah, Mustang Jockey and Ollie O'Neill have both pit then, trying to cover each other off. Graham Reeds is still out. Sean F has pit. We've seen Danzo come in. Thunder Rat has pit, as has Pilgrim Paddy now. So that's everyone except Graham Reeds. So Bigsy leading. 35 minutes remaining on the clock. 4.7 second gap over this man here, NGR Cutler. Oh, he's run himself a little bit wide through there, Cutler. He's got it back on track cleanly though. You can see the gap between Cutler and Bigsy there, as you just see Bigsy round through Clark Curve. Gap still at 5.5 seconds. Scar Wars lost a bit of time now. He's now 20 seconds back from Cutler and Bigsy. Oh yeah, sorry, Mad Marshall yet to pit as well. So we will see Ollie O'Neill and Mustang Jockey come through as they are side by side as they head down here towards Clark Curve. Who's going to win out on this one? Ollie O'Neill's been pushed to the inside. He's got the line through the turn though. Mustang Jockey's looking for a bit of a switch back on him, but he just tucks himself back in behind for the slipstream. Possibly looking to make a move before Paddock Hill bend. He's chucked himself out. He's not able to do it. Ollie O'Neill's put his car in the right place, made that mini as wide as possible, folded all his mirrors out. The Mustang Jockey's looking for a move down the inside into Druids. He's got the line. Ollie O'Neill's got the drive out, and he'll have the inside line into Graham Hill bend as well. So unable to get past yet for Mustang Jockey. So Sean F has closed in on these pace, taking a second and a half out through their little battling. Thunder Rat now 10 seconds back from that fight. Danzo's only 1.2 back from him, so we'll have to see whether Danzo can close that gap in as he drifts that Mini through there. Matt Marshall going for a bit of a drift as well, now in 9th now after his stop. Pilgrim Paddy 10th. Graham Reeds has now stopped. He's come out for a set of racing mediums full tank, but now sitting at the back of the pack in 11th. 4.3 back from Pilgrim Paddy. Let's see whether he can close that gap in. So Bigsy still leading. Cutler's taken another 0.8 of a second out of his lead. So the gap down to 4 seconds now as we are on to lap 11. Scar Wars losing a bit more time, holding a chunk of penalty as well. So this is kind of what I was talking about, the pros having a bit of a lonely race if the other guys manage to get off. Scar Wars now is 20 seconds back from the drivers in front of the pro class. So he'll just be fighting his way through Pro-Am drivers pretty much for the rest of the race, I'd have thought. Ollie O'Neill still holding that 4th, or 1st in the Pro-Ams. Mustang jockey still right there with him. He's picked himself up a bit of a penalty there though, Ollie O'Neill. That's not what you want when you've got Mustang jockey quite so close. He's only 0.7 of a second back. So we'll see whether Ollie O'Neill can keep that position while losing the penalty. Sean F still 7.7 back, so lost 2/10. Thunderat now 10.4 back. Danzo's got past, oh sorry, Thunderat's managed to make a bit of a break. Danzo looks like he's got something wrong. He was about 1.2 seconds back off Thunderat. Now 6.4, coming under pressure from NGR Mad Marshall as they head up towards Hawthorns. Less than a second between these two. Pilgrim Paddy now 5 seconds back from that fight. Graham Reeds is 8.2 seconds, losing a bit of time as well for Graham. So the fight between Bigsy and Cutler is hotting up. Cutler now 1.5 seconds back. She'll go for a bit of onboard action with Cutler as he looks to chase down Bigsy for that first place. He's putting in purple sectors as well as Cutler. 1.3 seconds now. Nothing to worry about from behind. Scar Wars is 23 seconds back. Another purple sector from NGR Cutler. Now that gap down to a second. Closing in on every turn is Cutler. You can see that gap visibly reducing down to 0.6 of a second then. So Cutler looking to make progress on NGR Bigsy as soon as possible. Bigsy just did get it a little bit wrong through there. So Cutler looking for a better line out of Clark Curve to get the run on Bigsy. He's up into 1st already. Bigsy's chucked himself in the pits then. So I didn't realise he was out of fuel. So Cutler takes the lead of the race. I'd have thought we were going to see Scar Wars come through as well. With Bigsy's going to have to take on an awful lot of fuel. So should allow Scar Wars through, yeah. So actually Bigsy just been released out the pits there, right behind Scar Wars. But now a lot of work for Bigsy and Scar Wars to do. Nearly 25 seconds back from Cutler now. Scar Wars will obviously lose that position and a lot more time when he comes in the pits. So the pro driver is going to be spreading out by the end of this race by the look of it. Mustang jockey has taken the lead of the Pro-Ams. He's managed to get past Ollie O'Neill at last. He's been looking for a way past pretty much since race starts. Ollie O'Neill did do a good job of making a bit of a break away from the pack, sticking with the pros for a little bit. caught up by the guys in behind. So he's in a good position. He might be able to get a good move done on Mustang Jockey down here as they head down Hawthorns to Pilgrims and back up the hill. He's just deciding against it there, Ollie O'Neill. Just wants to stick as close as he possibly can. Look to get that move done on the start-finish straight, possibly. So like I say, I've no idea whether you lot can hear me enough. Oh, Ollie O'Neill's lost the back end of that Mini. He's put 2 wheels on the grass. Oh, that's put him out of the fight with Mustang Jockey for now. He's now 3 seconds back. He'll be cursing in that helmet. He'll be cursing in that helmet. He won't be. So a bit of breathing room for Mustang Jockey at the minute. He's now got 3 seconds over Ollie O'Neill. That's just allowed Sean F to close in. He's now got a 6-second gap to Ollie O'Neill in front. Was 7.5. We'll see whether he can close that in. Thunder Rat, he's closed a little bit of time in, half a second on Sean F. Still holding on to that 7th position then for Thunder Rat. Mad Marshall 8th, coming under pressure from Pilgrim Paddy now for that 8th position. So Graham Reed's 10th. Danzo, for some reason, he's just staying out of the way of Cutler in front. Sitting at the back of the pack now for Danzo. Not long been in the pits though, fresh set of racing softs, 3/4 of a tank it looks like he's taken on board. So Cutler now in the pits. Scarwalls and Bigsy battling it out. Will they be able to get past? So they are past pit entrance. Cutler's come back out of the pits though in front, so he retains the race lead. Still with about a 4 or 5 second gap at the minute, 5.4, 5.3. Scarwalls and Bigsy still battling it out for that 2nd position. Bigsy looking for a totally different line into Druids. He might get the run out, but Scarwalls will have the inside line. So unable to get past yet for Bigsy. He needs to stick with Scarwalls as they head up to towards Pilgrims and Hawthorn. Try and get the move done on him down here. So it looks like Scarwalls has had a slightly better exit. NGR Bigsy just losing a bit of time then to Scarwalls in front. Unable to get, this is where I was expecting the move to be made. Right back on Scarwalls, he goes for a lunge around the outside. Scarwalls has gone defensive. So Bigsy's got the better run out, he's been nudged onto the grass. Does he keep that position? No, so they were side by side coming up there. Scarwalls keeps that 2nd, Bigsy still in 3rd then. Can he get a better run out here? Scarwalls knows where to put his car. He's keeping that Mini in super defensive positions. Bigsy's got a great run out of that last turn. Can he get the move done on Scarwalls for that position? Does he chuck himself back down the inside? Bit of weaving from Scarwalls. Couple of changes of position there for him. Can Bigsy get back down the inside? No, Scarwalls just blocks him off. He knows he's going for a lunge down the inside at Druids. So still unable to get past yet for Bigsy. So this is just allowing Cutler to sneak down the road a little bit. He's now got 11-second gap. He's putting in more purple sectors. Also holding fastest lap of the race, 1:37.2. So Scarwalls and Bigsy fighting this one out, but Scarwalls is about out of fuel. So that's just going to release Bigsy, although he's already looking to make a move here. Again, Scarwalls has chucked his car down the inside. Can Bigsy get his car past before Hawthorne's? Just, he runs Scarwalls around the outside. Good move there by Bigsy. He's now got 12.5 seconds to make up on Cutler in front. We'll come back to this fight and see whether he can close that time down a little bit. But we will see Scarwalls in the pits this lap. Mustang jockey still holding on to that fourth then. Ollie O'Neill right there with him. But nothing in it between these two all race. Sean F has closed in, so he's now got 5.1, although he will have to pit. These won't be that far behind him, so he might still be in a good position, Sean F. Still 22 minutes left on the clock, so plenty of opportunity for all sorts of things to happen. Thunderrat's still in 7th, so Scarwalls has come in the pits this lap. So kind of out on his own at the minute. He's got 8 seconds in front of Sean F. 28 seconds back to Mad Marshall. But again, Thunderrat yet to pit. He might even be in this lap. I would have thought he would be looking at that fuel gauge. Does keeps it over to the right hand side, chucks himself down the pit lane then. So Mad Marshall in 8th. He's got a quarter of a tank. He'll be able to run a little bit longer. Graham Reed's in 9th. Danzo now at 10th. And Pilgrim Paddy now at the back of the pack. So Pilgrim Paddy's been in. He's gone brave. He's gone for the super softs. They will be quick, but they're only going to last you about 4 laps, I think. If I remember rightly from previous races, they don't last very long, the racing super softs at times 10. But looking to get past Danzo as it is. So maybe just trying to use those tyres to get past 1 or 2 drivers. Get himself settled into position. But he's past Danzo now as they head down Brabham straight towards Paddock Hill, up into 10th then for Pilgrim Paddy. So Cutler still leading, 15.6 seconds he's got now. Another fastest lap, 1:36.2 for him. So Bigsy's under no threat from Scarwalls behind now, 26.7 seconds after Scarwalls pit. Still holding a little bit of penalty as well. So just starting to really stretch out now for the pro boys. So Mustang Jockey, what's up to Mustang Jockey? Okay, so Mustang Jockey and Ollie O'Neill have pit. Ollie O'Neill has only taken on 3/4 of a tank, just under. Whereas Mustang Jockey's gone, looks like he's gone for the full tank racing softs. So we'll keep an eye on this fight. These two have been at it all race. Bumper to bumper pretty much from lap 1. Sean F has closed that gap down a little bit, down to 5 seconds. Even with his pit stop. So Thunderrat's only 5 seconds back as well, although his tyres are looking pretty beaten up. So Mad Marshall in 8th, Graham Reed's 9th, not that far back either, only half a second. Can Graham Reed's get past Mad Marshall? Oh, Mad Marshall's run it wide through Clark Curve and into the sand. That's going to slow him down massively. He's chucked his hazards on just to let people know that he's leaving the race. Okay, so Cutler's in. He'll be taking on fresh set and probably a full tank. Bigsy follows him in as well. Scarwalls then coming down the last couple of turns. Been in a couple of laps earlier. A few seconds down the road. So Cutler's back out the pits then. What's he gone? Full tank, fresh set of racing mediums again. So Scarwalls just coming around that last turn. But Bigsy just been released now. Does he get out in front of Scarwalls? I think he does just, yeah. Yes, he does. Scarwalls coming at full race pace though, compared to Bigsy's pit exit speed. So down to 1.2 seconds between these two drivers. Again, Bigsy holding a lot less fuel. Scar Wars holding a lot less fuel than Bigsy. So his car will be a little bit lighter, slightly less brutal on his tyres, but he may have to pit again yet. We'll see. But on the hunt for that second position of Bigsy's already. Gap down to 0.8 of a second. So that gap extended a little bit, 3.5 seconds between Mustang and Ollie. They've both used about a quarter of a tank since their stint, since they came into the pits. Sean F has not been able to make a dent. He's losing a bit of time now. 5.5 second gap between himself and Mustang. Thunderrat still holding on to 7th. He has closed in on Thunderrat, 5.3 seconds. Pilgrim Paddy back up into 8th with Graham Reeds and Danzo pitting. So Graham Reeds just coming back out, taking on a full tank for a set of racing mediums. Danzo also just been released, fresh set of racing softs and a full tank. So Cutler still nice and comfortable out front, 19.7 seconds. He's just got to keep it pointing in a straight line and on the black stuff, and he's looking good for the race win here tonight. Championship win as well. Mad Marshall, how you doing? Had to retire, a steering wheel lost all force feedback. Oh, that's a shame. Can you hear me all right over the cars and stuff? Because nobody's been on the chat to tell me. Swines. So I've no idea whether I'm being drowned out by the minis or whether I'm drowning the minis out. But Cutler leading by 20 seconds now. Bigsy still under pressure from Scar Wars behind as they head up towards Hawthorns. He holds that second position at the minute. Oh, Scar Wars getting 2 wheels on the grass, just keeping it in a straight line. Lost a bit of time to Bigsy now though. Lost about half a second there. So a bit of work for Scar Wars to do to claw that time back. He's got it down to 1.1. It's not going to be an easy task. Ollie O'Neill then. So he looks like he's been off track, just like he is there. That's dropped that time between himself and Mustang Jockey from 3.5 to 2.1 now. So back on between Mustang and Ollie. He's got to drop that penalty as well as Ollie O'Neill. So just trying to lose it through there has allowed Mustang Jockey to close in even more. 1.4 seconds the gap between these two now. Let's go for a bit of onboard with Ollie O'Neill looking back. Not that one. That one. Let's see how clean your seats are. So 1.3 seconds that gap between Ollie O'Neill and Mustang Jockey. We're on board with Ollie O'Neill looking back at Mustang, trying to close the gap. 1.2 seconds now. Can Mustang Jockey close him up under braking? He loses a little bit of time actually. Does close him up under braking into Druids. So just over a second between Ollie and Mustang. And again, Ollie's going to have to pit earlier than Mustang. He's holding a full half a tank compared to Ollie O'Neill's little teens over a quarter of a tank. So all playing into Mustang Jockey's favour at the minute. Yeah, Sean F lost a bit more time now, 6.5 seconds down he is. Thunderrat still 6.5 back from Sean. Lost a bit of time himself. Pilgrim Paddy in 8th then. He'll have to pit before the end of this race, possibly lose a position or two to Graham Reeds. And maybe Danzo. Danzo looks like he's got plenty of fuel on board to the end of the race, as does Graham Reeds. So we'll just stick with Cutler for a minute. 22.4 second. He's got over Scar Wars now. Scar Wars getting past Bigsy. Sorry, Bigsy's been trying to get past him, hasn't he? Or has he? I forget. No, Scar Wars has got past Bigsy. You know what, I do forget. Nice, cheers, Mad Marshall. So, Ollie O'Neill coming under more increasing pressure from Mustang Jockey. That gap down to 0.7 of a second. Still holding a little bit of a penalty as well for Ollie O'Neill. And again, he'll be in the pits way before Mustang Jockey. Maybe Mustang Jockey will just cover him off when he comes in the pits. He'll come in the pits. He should be able to come out earlier than Ollie O'Neill due to the amount of fuel he's holding. It'll take him less time to get that fuel on board to complete the race. Therefore should, in theory, be able to get out before Ollie O'Neill. So Sean F just out on his own a little bit, 6 seconds in front of Mustang Jockey, 26 seconds back to this man Thundercat, who's also got, I was going to say 16 seconds, but it's 46 seconds back to Pilgrim Paddy, but he's in the pits. It's now a minute back to Graham Reed's. And then Danzo's 4.4 back. Pilgrim Paddy just been released there. Comes out almost side by side with Danzo. Has to drop into 10th position. Danzo, he's got it wrong. He's got it wrong through Paddock Hill Bend. He spun it out. Looks like he's put two wheels on the sand on the outside of the corner. Spun him across track and into the barriers just before Druids. So down at the back now for NGR Danzo. 10 seconds back as well. He's holding front end damage. Should repair itself. So jump back to Cutler, now 27 seconds he's got lead. And just over 11 minutes remaining on the clock. Cutler looking comfortable then in this race. Oh, I thought he was just about to run it wide through that turn. So Bigsy and Scar Wars still at it. So not too differing on tyre wear, but fuel depletion. A little bit more for Bigsy, like I say, whether he decides to do the same as Mustang Jockey. Oh, where's Ollie O'Neill? Ollie O'Neill's been in the pits then, so Mustang Jockey decided not to cover him off. He decided to stay out. So currently leading the Pro-Ams at the minute then for Mustang. 6.8 seconds lead over Sean F. Again, he looks like he may have to come in for a bit of a splash and dash at the end as well. Possibly giving Ollie O'Neill that position back. Thunder Rat's only 8 seconds back now. Graham Reed's putting the pressure, Pilgrim Paddy putting the pressure on Graham Reed's. A little bit of contact between Pilgrim and Graham. Pilgrim doing the right thing, giving that position back. Or just relinquishing putting the hammer down at least. But looking to get past Graham Reed's ASAP. And poor Danzo after his off-track action, now nearly 13 seconds down from Pilgrim. It's a shame as it was coming towards the end of the race. That's usually my trick that is. Doing alright, you're doing alright, you're doing alright. Yes, 5 minutes to go, smash. Cutler then in the pits for his last stint, 32.5 seconds. He's got a lead over Bigsy. Bigsy has got himself past Scar Wars. Oh, Scar Wars is chucking it on the grass again. So still could hot up between these two. Does Scar Wars come in the pits this lap? It looks like he is. So Bigsy stays out. Cutler's already back out of the pits. He had plenty of lead. So gap back down to 9 seconds. But Bigsy will have to pit again, which will allow Cutler to keep that massive lead he's got. Scarwall's taken on board all that fuel then. Mustang Jockey still out. He's not coming in the pits yet. 8.5 minutes remaining. Does he stop out for another one, or is he coming in this time? He comes in this time. So, where's Ollie O'Neill? Here he is. Just coming through Sterling's. Sean F also in the pits. So Mustang Jockey then still taking on board fuel. That's it, he's been released. Where is Ollie O'Neill? So just coming up to the exit, we can see Sean F and Mustang Jockey being released there. So Mustang Jockey keeping that 4th position. Ollie O'Neill just getting out in front of 6th place Sean F. So the battle for 4th is back on. Mustang Jockey then holding the lead for the Pro-Ams. 1.8 seconds over Ollie O'Neill, still holding a bit of a penalty. But he himself has got to worry about Sean F behind, only 1.6 seconds back, also holding a little bit of a penalty. But the fight for the Pro-Am race lead is back on. Thunderat still 7 seconds back from that fight, nothing to worry about from behind. Graham Reeds. So Graham Reed's in 8th, just Scar Wars, stop it. So Biggsy's in the pits then, so Scar Wars comes through. Where's Biggsy? He's been released, he's going to come out just behind Scar Wars. He's actually got another driver in between himself, he's got Graham Reeds to get past as well. So a bit of work for Biggsy to do then. He's got to get past Graham Reeds. Oh, a little bit of contact between himself and Graham. That's going to compromise his speed and his chance of getting that position made off Scar Wars. But he's past Graham Reeds now, so the battle's back on. 4.3 seconds between himself and Scar Wars. Can he close that gap up? NGR Cutler is absolutely safe at the minute, just under 6 minutes remaining. Scar's off track, so he's going to lose all that time to Biggsy behind. He's not lost that much, he must have kept his foot in as he was going across the grass, but Biggsy has closed it in on him a little bit, 3.6 seconds that gap. Scarwall's getting it all wrong, he's got it all wrong through Dingledell. He's off track, he's chucked his car on track right in the middle. That's just compromised Biggsy's attempt to get past. He's had to almost take avoiding action to not clear up Scar Wars there. So up into 2nd for Biggsy. 5 minutes remaining. Scar Wars down into 3rd then for the pros. So Mustang Jockey still holding that 4th. Ollie O'Neill's closed that gap back up down to 0.6 of a second. Oh, he's off track though again is Ollie O'Neill and is Mustang Jockey. Oh, the pressure's on between these two. Side by side then as they head down here. Down towards Clark Curve. Ollie O'Neill has got the inside line. He's got the number 4 above him, his head at the minute. He'll have the inside line as they head down towards Paddock Hill as well. So fight back on between Mustang Jockey and Ollie O'Neill. Again, Ollie O'Neill just seems to know exactly where to put his car, making it as difficult as possible for Mustang Jockey to get through. So let's see how this fight's getting on. NGR Biggsy, he's now got a 2nd gap over Scar Wars. Come back to that, see if he can extend. Just pulled another 10th out there. So Ollie O'Neill leading this little fight at the minute. Mustang Jockey just half a second back. Sean F only 2.1 seconds back. So can Mustang Jockey, he's picked up a penalty. Can he get a good enough toe up here to make a move down Pilgrims and up towards Hawthorns? Again, Ollie O'Neill's chucked his car over to the right hand side. Can Mustang Jockey running around the outside? No, he can't, but he has managed to drop a bit of his penalty in the process. 3.5 minutes remaining. It's on between Mustang Jockey and Ollie O'Neill. Sean F still not that far back. Closed in 0.3 of a second on that little fight in front. Thundercat is also closing the gap down on Sean F. Nothing to worry about from Graham Reeds. He's over a minute back. Pilgrim Paddy then 16 seconds back from Graham Reeds, and then he's just come in the pits as well. So Danzo now 10th. He'll probably get that position off of Pilgrim Paddy. He should have plenty of fuel on board for the rest of this race with 3 minutes remaining. Can Pilgrim get back out? He's only got to take on a little bit of fuel. So he has just been released. There's Danzo. They are almost going to be side by side. Pilgrim Paddy just losing out now on the back of the pack for Pilgrim. He's got about 2 laps to try and catch up with Danzo to try and get that position back off him. I'll just jump back up to race lead. NGR Cutler, 36.3 second lead. He didn't have a great start off the line, but he's managed to make his way out front and just get Bigsy in the first pit stint. Bigsy did pull away at the first stint by about 6.5 seconds, but with Cutler's tyre management, fuel management, he was able to run longer and sneak past him. So that's why he's got the 35-second lead. Bigsy looking more comfortable in second now. Scarwall's now got a 3.2 second gap back from Bigsy. 1 minute 45 remaining on the clock. That is about a lap. We'll see. Mustang Jockey then still, he's managed to get himself back past Ollie. So still in 4th, Ollie O'Neill 5th. Sean F now 1.6 seconds back. Thunder Rat losing a bit of time there. Pilgrim Paddy in the background. Graham Reed's 8th. So yeah, well out of the contention now for Graham. So yeah, Danzo's got past Pilgrim. Pilgrim's losing more time now then, so 4.9 seconds back from Danzo. So Bigsy looking nice and comfortable now. 3.6 seconds lead he's got over Scarwars. I'm not even looking at Cutler because he's just too far up the road. Oh, Sean F's got it wrong. So he's now out of contention for any podium positions for the Pro-Am fight. So Mustang Jockey being almost pushed around the track now by Ollie O'Neill. This will probably be last lap, so it's now or nothing for Ollie O'Neill. A little bit of a nudge to get his nose through there on Ollie. Oh, another little nudge there from Mustang onto Mustang Jockey. I'm sure he'll be not too happy about that. It wasn't too brutal. Now he's lost that position then, Mustang. It's now or never. With only 15 seconds remaining on the clock, this is going to be it. So Cutler's managed to get through. Bigsy's got through. Scarwars gets through. So Ollie O'Neill being hounded by Mustang Jockey. So the pros get to do another lap. 2 more corners left for Mustang Jockey to try and make this position. I think he's too far back as they head down towards Clark's. It's the wrong driver. He's too far back now, unfortunately, so Ollie O'Neill looks like he's going to be quite comfortably taking the Pro-Am win tonight. So a good bit of driving between those two. Mustang Jockey coming in 5th on the grid, but 2nd in the Pro-Ams. Thunder Rat's going to come home 3rd after Sean F's little off-track action. He's now down in 7th. Graham Reeds has already crossed the line. NGR Danzo's crossed the line. Pilgrim Paddy is just coming up to the line. Don't know why he's stopping there. Cutler just coming through. Oh, a bit of a smosh between himself and Pilgrim, but he's finished the race nonetheless. So a good race from Cutler. Like I say, his pit strategy playing out a blinder tonight. Bigsy's going to come home in 2nd then, extending that gap over Scarwars. So he ends up with a 4.5-second lead over Star Wars by the end of this race. His Racing Soft's looking well and truly battered as well. Oh, and Star Wars has run out of fuel, so Star Wars now rolling across the line. So that's everyone done. That's the mini season over, people. Cutler taking the win, taking the championship. Unfortunately, we had a few drivers not in, so unable to fight it out with the drivers up front. VLX Sparks evening. Cutler bottled it yet? No, Cutler's won it, mate. So yeah, some good racing between some of those guys there. Star Wars and Bigsy, and who else? Mustang Jockey and Ollie O'Neill as well. Some really good fights between those two. So that's it. Season 16 of the Minis done. Dusted, finished, kaput. Whatever. I'm not sure when the next season's back. It's usually a month or so before they restart a season. So the GR3s is finished, the Minis is finished, Thursday leagues have finished. I am still doing GR3 Sundays, and I've got the new BMW Track Tour on Sundays as well. So 7:30 Sunday evening, I do the BMW M3 GT3 race, and then literally straight after that, I jump on with the P1 boys and do their GR3 race as well. So Sundays, busy boy for me. No more Mondays. I've been invited to an invitational race next week by Can't Shake the Cliche. Group B tracks around Suzuka East. Streamers only. So he's asked me to join in for a bit of a smashathon around there. I might stream it, I might not. We'll see. We'll see. Usually when I stream my races, I end up crashing, doing really badly. So I might just record it and do like a post race. I might not even do that. We'll see. No problem, Mad Marshall. No problem. Let me just drink some brown fizzy pop. I'm a bit warm in here. So yes, good race by Cutler. I'll take the pro win. Good race by Ollie O'Neill and Mustang Jockey. I thought Mustang Jockey was going to get that, but Ollie O'Neill just punched his way through at the end there. Took the win. That was good. But yeah, that's going to be about it from me. I've got to think about what I've got coming up now. Nothing. Sundays, that's it. Sundays half 7 for the BMWs, and then Sundays 9 o'clock for P1RC. That's it. That's all I've got. Not a problem. They'll all be back next season. We should have a new Thursday league starting with the P1 boys soon as well. I think that's going to be GR2s. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, yeah, a couple of months or a month or so till the next gen stuff starts back up. I've got the GTT CC starting up on the 17th of April. I'm not streaming that either because, like I say, if I stream it, I'll crash. And I want to try and do decently this season and try and get some points and, you know, actually do some decent racing. When I end up talking to you lot when I'm racing, I stick it in a wall. So I'm not going to talk to you lot. So I'm pretty much going to end it here, peeps. Hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, like and subscribe. If you haven't, like and subscribe anyway. Sack it. Share the video. It does help the algorithms and all that sort of stuff. It does help with the comments and things as well, but apparently sharing really helps. So yeah, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell icon, all that crap. Tell your mates, tell your mum. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.